Yewww.
Everything's changed, except what you feel. It's been a long time.
It's best just to go with the flow.
It's been a
You've been going with the
long
flow
time.
for a little while, I guess.
It's
I'm
been
picking
many
that up.
moons
Yeah, I hitchhiked across the United States.
since I seen you in that room.
Yeah, it was an interesting time in history and the people that you met and stuff.
What year was that?
I think that was 79, 80, 81. I hitchhiked from New York, or from Nevada all the way to New York City. Probably made that trip several times.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hitchhiking across the states.
Yeah, that was a different time, different mood. But generally people were very kind, generous and stuff. They would help you out, and if you look like a bum, I guess I was good at that. But yeah, I don't know. Like one trip, I got picked up by a Vietnam vet, and we got drunk all the way to Las Vegas, and smoked pot and had a good time. And I slept under his van that night. I'll remember we went to Las Vegas, and he bought me a buffet dinner, and I made sandwiches and stuffed them in my jacket. And that night he was camping out, and he goes, "Oh, just sleep under the van." So I slept under his van that night and had a little cotton blanket. That's all I had. So.
Wow.
But Vegas was pretty warm then. But he gave me a ride to Boulder, I think. And next guy picked me up. He was drunk and stuff, and he was headed to Prescott. He wanted somebody.
He was headed to Prescott?
Yeah, Arizona. I go, well, okay, I thought of going up north, but then I got a series but yeah, he dropped me off at this bar, and I started doing drawings in the bar because all I had was like 40 cents or 50 cents. And I was lucky back then you could get cigarettes for 25, 30 cents, and a cup of coffee for 35 cents, and hang out in the coffee shops. But yeah, and then a young couple picked me up, and they were in a truck. They actually got stopped by the police. They were passing the joint around, and I was sitting in the open back part.
Oh my gosh.
And all of a sudden, the cop pulls him over, but he didn't bust him, didn't do anything.
He just let him cruise on, huh?
Yeah.
On the open road.
On the open road, yeah. But ended up getting a ride from a guy. This is just one trip now. Some of them, who was a parole officer from Texas, and he gave me a ride. He picked me up. I met him in the coffee shop. There were so many hitchhikers out of this one area. I go, wow, nobody's going to get a ride. So I went into the coffee shop and started BSing and drawing. He goes, oh, you can sleep in the back of my truck. You should go up to Santa Fe. There's an art community up there. Wow. So he dropped me off in El Paso. I slept in the back of his truck almost all night. But now at 2 o'clock, and I ended up, to stay warm, I hiked up to the top of the mesa. I usually just had a duffel bag with my paintings rolled up in them, and some clothes. So I hiked up this hill, beautiful sunrise, So I ended up going.
There's nothing like the desert out there, and then
the extremes.
Taos and all those areas in New Mexico and that area of the world are really, really beautiful.
Yeah, they have a whole different type of beauty, sandstones, but I ended up going down to the river that one morning, and I took a nap. I took a bath and took a nap, and a horse woke me up with his face looking down.
Giving you a morning bath?
Yeah, he was drooling on me. I looked, and he was looking right at me. But there is a lot of trips like that. It goes on and on and on.
I bet. And you remember them clearly.
Yeah, some of them I don't. You know, I go total unrecall.
Yeah. It's interesting how our memories play that way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
which ones get filed away and they're fuzzier than others. And then you have some that follow you for a lifetime.
Oh
And
yeah,
the epic, intricate details of that experience
yeah,
never leave you.
yeah,
And then there's some that you would think would have been maybe equally as profound, but somehow they're fuzzy.
yeah,
It's a weird, I think about these things, but anyway,
yeah.
it's a weird thing the way the brain works.
Yeah, some thoughts are more important than others. I guess different journeys stood out, and
Mm.
you know there was. But I ended up in Santa Fe. I hitchhiked from El Paso up to Santa Fe, and ended up actually going to South Dakota, and then going from there to New York hitchhiking.
Oh, yeah. And what year was it? You said 80s,
Yeah, this
early
is
80s.
70s or 80s, and I probably hitchhiked. It had to be 12 times across America.
Damn.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. All kinds of people, everything from
And here you are in Oceanside, California.
still alive, man.
Oh, my dude.
I wasn't. I think it's because I probably wasn't too streetwise,
Wow.
or I was very trusting. I had grown up in a very trusting. My mom would, do anything for people and stuff, and very tough person. So
Your mom.
yeah, she was Irish, Indian, and English
Wow.
from Oklahoma. They were all Okies.
Yeah.
They came out to California, and she married a Portuguese, Spanish, Indian guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've spent some time in Lawton, Oklahoma.
yeah. Some of those
It's
towns.
a weird, that's a
Yeah.
weird place to be, my bro.
Yeah,
It's a weird one.
yeah. I was the guy who taught me how to carve stone was from Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Oh, wow.
and I worked with him. But yeah, great guy, great guy. A little too drunk every once in a while, but that's
It happens.
Yeah, for artists, we're very sensitive people. So
No doubt.
we all have our poison. So luckily,
Yeah. You were doing that in the 80s
yeah.
or late 70s and 80s, and I wasn't even thought of in the 70s, bro.
Oh wow, yeah.
1981 is when I was born in April.
Oh yeah.
And you were making your way via several trips back and forth across the United States, hitchhiking
Yeah.
at that point in your life.
Yeah.
Made your way to New York.
Yeah. Yeah. I ended up one trip. I got there 25 cents. And a guy picked me up in Jersey and dropped me off right in the heart of Harlem there. And so I got out and I sold a drawing to this old black dude, and he gave me like $1, and it cost 50 cents for the token, so I could go down to Greenwich Village.
Cool.
So I got down there and I rolled out my paintings on a street corner. I used to roll them out on the big sidewalks, and went down to Bleecker Street one night, and it was a kind of a magical time. It was like 11 o'clock, but at night, but that's when the city comes alive.
Oh, I do know. Well, I don't know what it was like back then, but having lived in New York,
Yeah.
the city really does come alive at about 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And then 12:30, it's just starting to get ripe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Everybody's having a
then
great
it
time.
pops
Yeah.
around 1 or 2 in the
Yeah.
morning, and then you kind of start to have breakfast again, and somehow
Yeah.
it's daylight.
Yeah.
I know those days.
Oh yeah, I slept in Central Park, during the day,
Yeah.
and stay up all night, and that was a good routine. And used to hang out at this Figaro Cafe in New York City. It was on the corner. It used to be the place where the old beatniks and things hung out in the 50s and 60s. But it was a neat spot. I would hang out there all night drawing pictures, sketching. Met all kinds of folks, actors, whatever. But and then I jumped on the subway and everybody would be sunbathing down in Central Park, go take a nice nap.
Yeah. They still did that when I was there.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people lived on the street.
It was
there.
a beautiful time.
A great energy.
For me, it was a beautiful time there by Central Park.
Yeah.
I would come down from Greenwich, Connecticut to go and play with my friends there in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just, almost like you were at the beach.
Yeah.
You'd be wandering around in your bathing suit and a t-shirt and no shoes on and jumping around from restaurant to restaurant, having booze and, doing your
meeting
thing.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were still
something to
doing
do,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were still doing that. And this was just
You're lucky.
6 years ago.
Wow, that's good to know. Yeah, I haven't been back for a while. I lived there on and off from the late 70s to 80s. And took a bus there several times.
Just to play, see friends, do something different, or you get bored?
Yeah, I would roll up all my paintings. I spent a few winters in South Dakota, and I worked for this lady who had a motel, and I was kind of her handyman, so to speak. And
Cool. That's a good gig.
yeah, and I did that on and off for several years, and I rolled my painting up that I'd done that winter, and I would go sell my paintings in New York and hitchhike there and make a few $1,000s, sell them, try to be frugal and make your money go a long way, live on the street. And if I had excess money, I'd stay at the Y or different things. I lived when I first moved there was an old place called the Washington Jefferson Hotel, and you had to keep the lights on at night because there were so many. As soon as you turned the light off, all the cockroaches would come out.
Oh, wow.
So you would sleep with your lights on.
Sure. There's places in Portland, Oregon I've slept in like that.
Yeah,
They got some
I
big
bet.
bugs out there. In Savannah, Georgia, too.
Oh,
Gross.
yeah.
Gross.
Yeah,
I lived in
our-
Savannah for 4 years off and
gosh.
on. And let me tell you, they got some big insects out that direction, man, at night.
Yeah, my friend Courtney and we stopped at a hotel in Arkansas once, and there's huge beetles. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
The whole, it's amazing, Mother Nature out there. It's a gorgeous country, but America is a very lovely place.
Yeah, it is. It's dynamic in its offering for sure.
Yeah, there's so many humans.
Have you been? Did you say humans?
Humans.
Yeah. There are. We keep I think some generation called the baby boomers created them all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those poor folks.
Yeah, right.
They're all in therapy, I think.
Oh, man.
Fortunately for them.
Right. What about that Oregon space? Have you been up on that part of the world, Pacific Northwest?
Oh, I hitchhiked up there to see a girlfriend actually in Ashland, Oregon, right on the border across from Shasta. So,
Mount Shasta and all that. What a
Yeah.
beautiful part of the world.
yeah, that whole coastline. I hitchhiked up through there and went as far as Seattle. And so that was fun. Yeah, there was.
Did you go the coastline of Oregon?
Yeah. Actually, later on, my girlfriend Wanda and I drove up that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous drive.
I spent many days and nights on the Oregon coast whenever I lived in Portland. I would surf the Oregon coastline, and it's about anywhere between an hour and 15 minutes to 2.5 hours to get to a place that's got surf, like safe surf.
Yeah, it's a rocky coast.
It's a pretty interesting coastline with some real energy in the ocean there, and I would go out and I would spend days. I would leave. My dog and I would leave on a Friday afternoon and stay through Monday, and I would just go out there and surf. And in Oregon, you just let your dog loose, and they do whatever they want while you're gone.
Oh, nice.
And they can run up and down the ocean, the beach, and hang out and meet the people while you're out there surfing for an hour or two, and you come back in and there they are looking for you.
Oh,
It's a pretty
neat.
cool,
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool experience in Oregon where you can also, you know, basically do whatever you want. You can start a bonfire anywhere you want. There's no real regulations and stuff. It's really a cool off the grid experience.
Oh, I bet it sounds fantastic.
I spent many moons and days there and learned a lot about myself on that Oregon coast, man.
Oh, I bet you some great visions and thoughts and nature. Your good thoughts come from nature in many ways, you know,
Yeah.
are ones that put us at peace and stuff.
That part of the
Meditation.
country has really did change me. It sent me in the direction of,
That mellows you out, that's for sure.
yeah, to put it simply.
Yeah, humbles you. And
It certainly did humble me. It made me just begin to realize that thing you were saying earlier, which was that we're just a speck,
yeah, just an ant. And
you know,
one of,
with a conscience,
with a conscience.
a consciousness. I mean,
And consciousness. Yeah, it's the great mystery. That's what the Native Americans called it. You know, it's life itself. You know, that is for me. That is God or whatever, or the universe. You know,
give
nobody
it whatever
knows.
name you want.
Huh? Yeah.
Give it whatever name you want.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
have-
the experience that we're all doing
Mm-hmm.
and wondering about still somehow. And we'll constantly wonder about purpose.
Yeah.
You know, all the things that we think matter. Reason,
Yeah.
purpose,
Reason.
design.
Yeah.
We are the best, as I say this a lot, is we are problem solvers.
Mm-hmm.
By design, we're the best problem solvers the planet has seen yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for that reason, we're constantly trying to find the answer to something.
To consciousness. Yeah.
And that one big burning question for us is why are we doing what we're doing, or why do I feel this way, or why did I meet this person, or what is my purpose, and all of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
People, I meet
think-
people like that all the time.
It's stressful to think and feel, to be in that zone. It can be stressful, but it can also be very enlightening.
Oh yeah, yeah. It teaches you about different aspects of your personality, and, determination, I guess, or whatever, to move on and not take it so personally that you enjoy the vision or
The experience.
the
yeah.
experience of life. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are grasping for that question. They want some form of spirituality and different things, or thought processes. So, yeah, Timothy Leary, I saw him give a speech once. It was a long time ago in South Dakota at Black Hill State. He was an interesting thinker, or abstract thinker. That's what artists are just abstract thinkers. So
Yeah.
give people a vision of what the world is on a different level of thinking or feeling. We're each unique. So that's what I liked about Native American religion, though, was kind of each person's life is the religion. So.
No doubt. No doubt.
But we all have different ways of thinking, so
Yeah,
that's what makes the universe up.
it is.
Yeah, learning from Sun Bear. There was a guy named Sun Bear, was a good thinker, a Native American fellow, and just opening yourself up to the universe.
Allowing it.
Yeah, allowing yourself to go with it, with the flow, with your own thoughts and not the thoughts of others sometimes.
And be aware. Thank you.
And be aware, yeah. That
Do you need anything, John? Can we
my
get you a-
tobacco there and
Hey,
papers.
Peyton, would you grab that tobacco and papers?
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that
I might take a beer too.
Can you pop another top for John? A Heineken.
Oh, can't beat German beer. I used to drink the dark German stuff. Boy, in Oregon, in Ashland, they had really good dark beer at this bar. Can I get my tobacco? Yeah, Oregon's a different environment. It's right there, man.
Thanks, babe.
Thank you.
It really is a different environment, and it presented an all new view of my life, and it happened to me in a moment. Actually, wow, there were lots of moments and lots of experiences that change us for sure. But in my case, for this one moment that I call it like I don't know. I don't want to give it some cliche word, but the fact is I had an experience, right? I was enlightened. I was in the water. I had a near-death experience under the wave over and over and over again.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of those things where I had been dumped, okay? We've
Yeah.
all been dumped really good. But this time,
Yeah.
I was certain that I might have a very slim chance of making it out. So I fought for it and I got out, okay?
Lucky.
Yeah.
Water is so powerful.
It is.
I saved my little brother from drowning in Marina del Rey back in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Early, yeah. He wandered. He was only like 5 years old. My mom and sister looked away for a bit, putting their blankets down, and he ran into the water, and I'd swum out about 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
And I just happened to look around, and I saw him get hit by a wave and pulled out. And
Yeah.
and he was only 5,
Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yeah. So the power, I was lucky I got to him. He only went under a couple times, 2, 3 times, but he was, got a big gulp of water.
Yeah. It'll put you down and it'll scare you.
Yeah, that age, his eyes are as big as silver dollars.
Sure.
That's a strange experience.
Yeah. Well, being an adult, I was in my 30s, and I had paddled out into a surf situation in the swell that I had no business being in. I don't know that anybody had any business being in it.
Yeah, pretty
But I
intense.
was learning. I felt confident. I felt like I was a stronger swimmer and surfer than I had ever been.
Yeah.
And, I was an intermediate level of surfer, but a very good swimmer
Yeah, that helps.
and athletic.
Yeah.
And so I thought I could handle it, and I couldn't. It's very, very clear to me that I am not in control here.
Oh no, the gods are watching over us. Probably, so to speak.
Yeah.
Life itself has a destiny for us. I stopped worrying about that. This summer it was a great time. It was a good time for thought and stuff. So that's the only reason I like being alone. Sometimes it gives you time to reflect on things.
Yeah. I do.
Put it in perspective. Yeah, you've spent that time out in your universe, so to speak. And
I prefer to be alone.
yeah.
When I grow, but
Oh, you need other people.
I do need other people, and I know
We
I
all
do.
do. We all do. We can say we don't, but we feed off each other and learn from one another. You have to put it in a positive perspective.
Sure.
It's not a drama or whatever. You can make it that, people can make their life whatever they want, I think. Or,
Writing our own story, as you say.
yeah, but it's like me being here in Carlsbad at this time and doing this. It's part of life's journey. I guess I was meant to be here. So, I thought I'd be a little more well off at this stage in my life, but life goes through stages, and you can't really dwell on the money or what you lost.
Yeah.
There's an old hippie book called "Be Here Now," and, just be here now. Enjoy the moment, and
Yeah.
try not to be as judgmental of other human beings, more caring for other human beings.
Yeah.
I relate to him. It's probably why I was brought back to the United States, is to all that hitchhiking. I had to pay back my karma. So I owed the people of America to share my art with them.
Yeah.
That's a
love it.
twisted way of looking at it.
No, but it's a twisted way to look at it from other people's perspective.
Yeah.
And I think something that I've learned a lot about recently is that, man, there's been so much shit going on in this world.
Yeah, negative.
And so much media and so much control.
Yeah, they can twist the truth. That's pretty
And they make us feel certain ways because society shifts their direction. And then therefore we see ourselves as maybe a success or maybe not a success because it's defined by the condition that we've been fed for the life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel my life has been a success. I've been myself.
Fucking A, man. No, but man, please. Cheers to that, my dude. I feel like my life's been a success.
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah,
I do too.
You have to believe, your journey is going to take care of itself, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my worries are very few. And a lot of times you visit with relatives and they can dump their energy on you, but they live in a whole different universe. So you have to appreciate their universe for what it is, and what their world is, and the way we view the world, or I view the world and they don't. It's just a matter of experience in life, where you travel and broaden your thoughts about the world, and not be prejudiced or be cruel, Try to do something positive while you're on Earth, so to speak.
For not only yourself, right?
Yeah,
but for the community.
Yeah,
because that's something that I found too, is that I was racing and chasing and putting forth so much effort to be something more than what I was, or to chase the chase. I was literally chasing the chase for a long time because it was the experience. And exactly.
There's so many good things, good looking girls. They've been my successes of life, I guess, or beautiful experiences with many nice ladies. So you learn from them, I guess.
I certainly do understand that one.
It's all, love is a learning experience.
My goodness, it is. And you were talking earlier a minute ago about connection. Mm-hmm. Like we want to connect with each other as much as we enjoy our alone time. Yeah, we want to connect with each other.
Oh yeah, it's important for humans to communicate right now and tell each other how they feel and stuff. They hide, we're so segregated from one another. It's a different form of segregation.
Yeah. When I was alone for a really long time, mm-hmm. I found that I could find that connection. This is a weird thing for me to say, but whatever. I'm a weird dude.
Well, we all are in our special ways.
Yeah. I found that I could only get a really limited level of connection with other living things. Mm-hmm. Like I made friends with my plants. They were my real deal, my buddies. I talked to them in the morning. Yeah. I'd give them some food, I'd brush them off.
Oh yeah, the Native Americans believed everything has a soul, so to speak, a spirit. Life, the plants, the animals, they have all the, that energy that we need actually to survive. And we have to be careful with our environment, but humans are great problem solvers. Hopefully they'll figure out the universe. Yeah. Put it in order where people aren't destroying one another, but are learning to be with one another
Yeah.
and respect other people's views, or the way that their vision is. But it's respect would be nice.
Right. I think about what you're talking about a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what got us off on the wrong foot?
Yeah. Oh.
Because I feel like it's really easy for you and I to sit here and have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I'm totally on your level, dude. Whenever you say, can we just respect each other and be good to each other and have a common direction of just growing together for an overall positive outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that. Every time I say that to someone, they're like, "Yeah, that makes total sense, man.
Yeah.
Have you tried running for president?"
Yeah.
No. But really, though,
Yeah.
where did we get off on the wrong foot?
Oh wow.
I think about this often, man, and it's
the industrial age started, and all that energy that was brought over here from Europe, it was pretty intense. And people's imaginations are growing over in Europe, the invention of flying and the engine and different things. And that
those problem solving, how to get from point A to point B faster, right?
Yeah.
How to get supplies out to our battlefield.
Yeah.
How to make our food last longer.
Yeah.
Process it, secure it, don't farm it.
Yeah.
Add sodium, add fats, add all this stuff to make it cheaper.
Yeah.
Then sell it en masse.
Yeah. Yeah, we're eating cardboard.
Are we the virus?
Are
we Earth's virus, man?
I call it the human disease.
Oh man, it is. And here we are, it just here for the experience, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy the vibe, enjoy the good aspects of life. There's still a lot of beauty out there. I think that's why I've been living in the woods, is just to let that soak in. And well, you've probably felt the same thing, out on
I grew
the
up in the
coast.
sticks of Texas, the bayou, and right around the bayou we have what's called the Evergreen in Maurysville, Texas. They have a lot of pines, and we call that belt. That's a green belt of evergreens in the state on the kind of like Louisiana border north of the Gulf of Mexico, kind of that corner of Texas by about 30, 40 miles. There's just this string of pines.
Wow.
My grandparents that lived there in that evergreen belt, I learned more off the land out there from farming and hunting and just being in nature, being on the bayou.
Oh yeah, it's a simpler lifestyle. And
we caught what we ate.
Yeah.
We farmed what we ate.
Yeah, my grandpa was a professional hunter and trapper from Oklahoma. He was English and Indian. He was very, very good at doing that. He was one of the last people to be able to, what do you call it, trap
professionally
in that area out of the Yosemite. All the tributaries were coming out of there. All the big ranches were growing, and they considered the beaver and the muskrat and different animals, the mink, as being pests, or they were eating their crops.
Yeah, of course.
So,
we ran in the same thing. We'd have to fence and then put electrical wire, and then we'd have to put canopies, and it was a constant battle. Beavers were a problem in Texas.
Yeah, in Burro Creek, where I was camping out in the woods, they destroyed almost all the little cottonwoods. And
they're crazy, man. Those little things can do a lot of damage, dude. They're hungry.
Yeah, they put a lot of wire and stuff, mesh around them, so the beaver wouldn't go up too high.
Create too many dams and stuff like that, because they can block off waterways too.
They're still there. They have a little dam there now, and this is out in the boonies, out in the desert. And there's a little beaver dam right there. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it floods every year, but they don't seem to get washed away.
I wonder how long those beavers have been out that way.
Oh, it's hard to say.
Longer than we have, probably.
Yeah, they probably were washed down, and when it was a higher river flow.
Yeah.
because it's all river rock, which is very interesting. These boulders, different colors, shapes, and
Yeah.
stuff are on the coastline or whatever, edge of it.
When I look at your art, I feel like there's a lot of that desert influence and that might be my own conditioning, but the colors,
Yeah, they're warm colors.
they are warm,
Yeah,
it feels that way.
this
There's some Native American touch to it.
Yeah, it seems that way. People sometimes say my work looks Mayan or different things. And I studied Mayan art and the different Aztecs and different things. I read all these books about these guys. Very interesting, the Mayans and the culture they built, and the Toltecs up north. They were near Mexico City now and stuff. But I did a copy for a doctor of a Aztec sun calendar or Mayan sun calendar, and I spent over a month carving this round piece of cherry wood. I think I only got 500, but that was a weird thing. That's why I have bad teeth.
What's that?
Oh, I got burned on that business deal.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't but it was. I learned a lot about the design,
Really?
the shapes and stuff. I studied those. There was actually an 18-year-old kid. He was 17, 18. He was the one who broke the code. His parents had been trying to break the code for the Mayan calendar or for the symbols and what they meant.
Really?
And he, I think he's probably still alive. I mean, he might be in his 60s. But he, when he was a child, he lived there with his parents on the where they were studying the different ruins, and he figured out what the symbols and signs meant.
Wow.
Stuff. And
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, it was an interesting history, but
What drew you that direction?
I don't know. I was a young artist. And I wanted to try something interesting. This dentist, he do this for me, but strange things happened. His wife didn't like me, I don't think. I don't know.
Dude, you just said I asked you if what got you into this the study of it, and you said but hold on, I think it's funny is because you said, well, I don't know, I was looking to do something interesting.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, how many people say that what they're doing today is influenced by, oh well, I just wanted to do something interesting. I was interested in it. Because a lot of times today when you ask someone how'd you get into what you're doing? And they're like, well, I was chasing money. I wanted to live here. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to, I wanted to success. But here, honestly, there's more behind defining success when I hear someone say, I wanted to do something interesting.
Yeah. Oh, break your way up. All my friends, all they talked about was sports and stuff, and I wanted to find a different way of thinking.
Yeah, I can't follow sports, man.
Yeah.
I never have been able to process it in my head.
I was a dumb jock when I was young.
Were you?
I was a pretty good basketball player, and I blew my knee out.
Oof.
I was going to go to the university, maybe in Iowa, and play there.
Damn.
That was traumatic. And then,
well, you're a tall guy. You're 6'2", 3?
6'4".
4?
Yeah, about 6'4". Might have been 6'5".
At 7, how old are you? 67?
7. Yeah.
6'4" at 67.
Yeah, I was
Svelte,
a good
man, carrying these paintings around that weigh at least 80 pounds, dude.
Yeah, that kept me in good shape for sure. I was a good jumper. I could dunk the ball behind my head and stuff like that, and ended up did fairly well for my size and stuff. I would have had to play guard in the NBA, so I had to play center in high school because I could jump so well. you know, I could outjump many of the big guys. They would look down on you and say, "Oh, you're their center."
But you outjump them, yeah.
I'd outjump. I had good springs, yeah.
It's so funny how the way the body's built.
Yeah, I was
you're
starting
saying
to
we're all
get in.
different. Even when you think about the way that we see things, or the way that our mind is processing
Yeah.
what we're seeing. Well, I was at a restaurant the other night with my girlfriend, and there was a baby looking at us, we thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was turned around in its seat, and it was looking dead at our table. And it just couldn't stop looking. And we would make faces at it.
Yeah.
And we were like, that baby is definitely not seeing us right now. It's looking clear on past us and watching the cars pass.
Probably.
Because you would go like this, and he couldn't almost even see you.
He was focused on that
Exactly.
window. Yeah, all the movement. It's like here, sitting here and watching all the cars.
And that's perspective, right?
Yeah.
And so the interesting thing about all of this is that from our lens, our view in life, of the same experience that we're having right now.
Yeah, we all see things differently.
Totally.
Uniquely, yeah.
And we're built also physically differently. You had high ups and jumps. You had good springs, but you were shorter than the other players.
Yes, and not as heavy. Many of those guys would be like 6'4" and 280, you know, and I have to, you know, push them around. Luckily, I had a strong back.
Yeah.
There are some big kids, and you know, I played against professional players.
Because guys that play ball are big, man.
Oh, they're big men. I don't think I was probably, I could have went to Europe probably and played ball or something, but I played with some very talented people who played in the professionals and different things. Yeah, it's an ego thing. But I think it kept me in shape for hitchhiking, and you know, I was in great shape. I had right after that, a year later, I had my arm crushed in a machine.
Oh my God!
In a
Yeah, you
conveyor
told me
belt.
about that when we were talking.
Yeah,
That's a fucking experience.
Yeah, it wasn't the most positive one, but it enabled me to do art, and I started doing art every day, and got disability for a few years. So saved up all my paintings and actually took a bus to New York and rolled them all up. They were all on stretch canvas and stuff.
And here you are today. Damn, dude.
Yeah, and that was different. That was late 70s.
You stopped in Europe along the way, you said, right?
Huh?
You stopped in Europe along the way, didn't you?
Yeah. I went to spent some time in Basel, Switzerland. That's a pharmaceutical head top place in the world. They have science labs there and different things, and psychologists and stuff. But yeah, that's where they invented LSD. Was actually in one of the labs there in Basel.
And you went out there to help them test LSD or what, dude?
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
No, actually, that was a weird trip. I met a guy in Utah carving stone.
Oh, cool.
I was doing this great sculpture. It was a purple abstract, but the stone was just amazing beauty. But I met this doctor. He was at a campground in Kodachrome Basin, Utah.
Wow.
He bought I love this, and he sent me some money. I flew over there. Ended up living in his basement not his basement, in his downstairs studio he had. So he introduced me to all the top artists in Basel there. A couple one guy I worked with for a while, a Czechoslovakian guy. His name was Stelik.
Wow.
And his dad had been like a fifth generation, or he was a fifth generation, sixth generation stone carver, mason. And he traveled around Europe repairing old sculptures on churches.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty unique.
That is niche.
Yeah, he was a neat dude. He was a great guy. But he introduced me to other artists. He introduced me to this guy who was like in his 80s, and he was the top artist in Basel.
Wow.
I forget his name, but and then they had a nice museum there of the artists who did all this erotic art and stuff in the Paris in the 1900s.
Wow.
He had a collection of this guy's work, and when he passed away, he had so much of this guy's work. You know, they opened him, turned his house into a museum.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah, that was a great experience.
That's a special, yeah, I was about to say, that is a special experience. It
Yeah.
really is. Damn.
Yeah, you meet great people wherever you go. I try to keep open somewhat, you know.
I'm excited about this piece that we have up behind you.
Yeah, that's a fun painting. I think people really like it. It's a good one for the imagination. You know.
It certainly is. I love it.
Yeah.
I did that wooden sculpture over there too. That
Yeah,
wave.
That's cool. That's a nice piece. I like that.
Thank you, dude. It's all driftwood from the beach right here in Oceanside. It took me 4 months to find all those pieces of wood.
Wow.
And then I carefully selected each one, and I didn't cut anything at all. I just
you
found the perfect pieces.
Yeah.
And then put them together very carefully.
Good epoxy comes in handy.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I was doing rock stacks there in Arizona when I was out there.
Oh, wow.
Doing some fun ones. All the boulders on that riverside are just amazing with the different colors and forms. You'd find quartz going through granite type of rocks. And when it rained, actually, it was when you get those rocks wet, the colors are alive. Green, there's a lot of, I think there's an iron mine or something, copper. One of the camp hosts found a huge piece of copper just walking through the trails there. So.
Dang.
Yeah, you never know.
So cool.
Yeah,
the things that this world has been doing for so long.
Yeah.
Way before us, man.
Yeah, I try to appreciate the place for what it is. And like in February, all the vultures, turkey vultures come in. There's like over 100 of them migrating through this one area. And there were not sandhill cranes, blue herring ones up there, but I don't think there's as many fish in the little creek anymore than there was. So, although there's a military base by, and they buzzed that what do you call it, the canyon. There's a big bridge, a big drawbridge there.
And they cruise through.
On their amazing trips through life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it'd be fun to go fast in a plane. But it's Burrow Creek was a fun place. It kept me out of the bars for a while.
It's always good to be distracted by nature whenever it seems to find its way into our lives as it is needed.
Yeah.
It's a cool evolution to kind of ride the wave like that, isn't it?
Oh yeah. You're learning from the animals and the environment that you're in, and it's not about me. It's about what I'm experiencing. So, I mean, I'm just the tell the story. Artists tell the story of what's going on around them, the energy, and like. William Turner did a great painting once, this English painter in the 1700s, but he tied himself to a mask of what do you call it, a boat. And they tied him to the mast so he could see the storm.
Wow.
The colors and the forms and the shapes.
That's gnarly, dude.
Yeah, so there's been plenty of crazy artists out here. But they're unafraid to experience life, see the world for what it is.
Unafraid to experience life. Yeah, man. That's an important one.
Yeah, there's so much fear being sold out there. You have to rise above it and see the world. Each person's unique and special.
Yeah.
I try to be more respectful, and I won't flip people off anymore.
It's hard to think about it, dude.
Yeah, I think that's an American art form.
Yeah, an art form. I love it, dude. Well, John, my dude, I think it's getting close to dark around here, man. So we're going to close it up. I appreciate you.
Oh, thanks.
Coming in and talking to us.
You guys are cool dudes. I enjoyed sharing my art with you. So.
We'll be in touch, especially while you're around town. Feel free to get in touch with me anytime you're in town, bro.
All right, sounds fun. Yeah, I'm gonna take one day at a time, one moment, enjoy it.
We could all learn from that, bro.
Yeah, you have to keep a positive attitude. You can dwell in your different worldly things, but it doesn't do any good.
No doubt.
Things will change in 2 seconds.
Fair enough.
Enjoy.
Well, John, remind me
Thanks
your
a lot.
last name, please.
Rosa, R-O-S-A.
John Rosa.
Yeah.
And if you guys ever want to get in touch with John Rosa, you can reach out to me on the show, and I have his phone number directly. If you're interested in his art, interested in chatting with him, interested in maybe his story.
I have a lot of cool paintings with me.
He does. I can attest to that. I bought one. And he's been working on perfecting it for the last 3 days.
Yeah, that was
He's
fun.
an honest artist. They gave him all the money up front, and he came through, man. He texted me every day, giving me a progress update, and then he showed up. And
I don't need bad karma. I got enough of that already.
I'm actually going to tell the story really quick. I was checking the surf with my girlfriend, and we saw John, and I spoke with him for a bit, and we bought a piece of artwork from him. And right there in Carlsbad on the beach. And I'll be damned, he texts me every day giving me a progress update on that on that piece of artwork, and showed up today, and here we are having a podcast. Pretty cool life we're in, man.
Oh, yeah, we're very lucky. You never know who you meet on the streets. You never know who you bump into or what life, other people's in. Yeah, you're always hoping. Oh, yeah, it's best not to be afraid of anything and just enjoy it.
I absolutely adored having this conversation, and I am very excited about my piece, my dude.
Oh, you enjoy it. It's a good, fun one. It's
Good.
It tells a good story.
Thank you, man.
Everything's changed except what you feel. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been many moons since I seen you in that room. It's been many snows since I felt your glow.